again.
Well, I never. Henry!
Hey!
Henry!
I'm glad to see you.
Matthew! Fritz! You're alive!
Of course we're alive.
You can't get rid of us that easily.
I'm almost surprised how happy I am to see the pair of you are all right.
We are now, but we barely made it.
Yeah, it was hard. Fritz ran like a little girl.
Really?
Bollocks! Bloody joker.
Tell us what happened to you.
They gave me a pretty good thrashing as well. It was only in Rattay that I got back in my right mind.
And I see you're not doing too badly for yourself. What are you up to?
Right now, I'm a squire for Sir Radzig.
I see you've worked your way up.
And how are you two getting by?
It's shit.
You said it. We're still chopped off to bits. Owe the monastery a bundle. And there's no work here.
Not for anyone with more than half a brain, anyway.
Well, you two and work never got along. But don't tell me that they're not in need of carpenters. They're reconstructing the monastery.
They don't want us there.
And there's nothing else around here.
Hey, you wouldn't happen to know of anything?
It will really help us out right now.
I'll find you something. You can rely on me.
Thanks, Henry.
We'll pay off the debt. Don't you worry.
And where would they hire you to?
Well, we were carpenters in the mines, so wherever they work with wood, I suppose. Forget about construction. After Skalitz, no one will be building for a long time. Just here in Sassau, and they don't want us here. The best chance we have is to work at a mill. People always have to eat. Ideally, we're looking for a job that pays a lot and doesn't require much work.
What other neighbours of ours made it?
Your hunker's in the monastery. That girl really helped us out. That's about all we know. When we ran for it, we helped Teresa. But who knows where she is now? We got separated.
I owe my life to Teresa. She hauled me unconscious to the mill in Rattay and nursed me back to health.
I'm glad she survived. Since you know her so well, why not try asking her if she knows about any work?
Hey, I've got this thing going in Pribyslavitz, and there's plenty of problems, and, well, I could use a helping hand.
Sorry, Henry, old pal, but I'm up to my ears on my own problems. Maybe another time, when things get settled.
God be with you.
Greetings, Henry.
Matthew and Fritz send their regards.
They survived. My God, I'm glad. They helped me out a lot. And where did you see them?
Hey,
In Sassau.
lad.
I
Don't
bumped
wanna
into
know
them in
why
front of the
you're on
tavern.
Rattay tourney.
Where else?
And how are they doing?
They're doing fine. The monks brought them back to health. But they don't have work, and they're in debt. You wouldn't happen to know of any jobs going for two lazy carpenters?
Not here. And I think it will be the same in all of Rattay. It's overcrowded with refugees and they're all looking for work.
That's bad. Those two need work badly. To keep them out of mischief. You know what they're like.
I do indeed. Try the mills in the smaller hamlets. The miller in Ledechko is old. Maybe he could use some strong hands.
I will. Thanks.
God be with you.
Is there any work here for carpenters?
No, I'm not looking for anyone at the moment. May the Lord watch over you. You've no business here. Clear off. Is something the matter?
Jesus Christ be praised.
Teresa, the millmaid, sent me. She said you could use some help.
Some extra pairs of hands would be useful. What do you have in mind?
My friends, 2 survivors of Skalitz, are looking for work.
And why should I take them?
They're experienced carpenters.
Why not? Carpenters would be helpful. There's a lot of work here at the mill, and I'm not as spry as I used to be. Thomas, my foreman, tries his best, but he ain't up to that kind of work. But they aren't idlers and drunks, are they? I only take in people who are willing to do hard, honest work.
I'm from Skalitz, and I know them both personally. They worked in the royal mines, and their master couldn't praise them highly enough.
In the Skalitz mines? But that's skillful work. I'll be glad to talk to them. Tell them I'll give them a chance. We'll talk about pay and a roof over their heads when they get here.
God be with you.
With you, Henry. Hey, how'd you get so fucked up?
The monastery wants you to pay for treatment. That doesn't sound right.
Leave it be, Howell.
I won't. What happened?
We might have pummeled his face. But don't get involved, Henry. We'll settle it on our own.
Wait, who exactly did you pummel?
Well, he kept on bothering us and... in a nutshell, it was his fault and we're not going to talk about it anymore.
But couldn't there be a way to settle it? Maybe he'd let you off the...
There isn't.
Well, don't be a twat, Fritz. The 2 of you are up to your necks in shit, and you're going to play tough instead of seeing sense.
Go to hell, Henry. You and Elias. You're one as bad as the other.
Ugh, if you... I want to get better at...
Certainly.
I'd like to practice...
All right.
Isn't that quite... Agree?
It'll take more than...
My last...
Well. Agreed. Take care. Hey!
I want to...
Sit.
I'm interested...
All right.
Isn't that quite... What do you...
That's not...
Agree?
I know. Agreed. Good health to you.
I want to get...
Certainly.
I'd like to...
First you have to have some...
Well,
Good luck then.
I'd like you to teach me how to be better at stealth.
Certainly.
I'd like to practice...
All right.
Isn't that quite... Are we agreed?
Well, a little... Agreed. Good luck then.
I'd like you to teach...
Certainly.
I'm interested...
All right, but it'll...
Isn't that... What do you say?
It'll take more than...
You...
Come now. Agreed. Goodbye.
I'd like you to...
Certainly.
I'd like to...
First you have to have some skill.
Well... The miller and Ledechko would be happy to meet you.
You really found work for us?
Of course. I couldn't bear to look at those sour faces of yours a moment longer.
Thanks, Henry. Only
What?
the reward we talked about, well, we haven't got 2 groschen to rub together.
Nah, that doesn't matter. You'll pay me when you have it.
That we will. Stop by and visit us in a week. We'll pay you back as soon as we get our first wage. See you later.
I'm glad you came. I want to get out.
Where do you want to go? We've only just arrived.
So,
Jesus, what have you been up to?
Are you happy here?
It's not worth a damn. If I had any choice, you wouldn't see my heels for dust.
Well, what's happened? Did you two get yourselves into trouble?
A fine friend you are, assuming it's our own bloody fault.
Oh, come on. You know what you two are like. I had to ask.
Well, perhaps with that monk. But now, the foreman's got it in for us. If he could, he'd skin us alive.
Always forcing you to work, is he?
If only. That wouldn't be so awful. But nothing we do is good enough for him. There's always some reason for him to yell at us.
I can imagine.
You know what it's like. We do too little, and it takes us too long, and what we eat's worth more than the work we've done, and it's no fun listening to that sort of shit day after day.
And the miller won't stick up for you. I would have thought all the drive him mad.
Not really. He trusts that loudmouth bastard more than us. He's got us down for a pair of parasites.
I see.
What's so stupid is the mill really needs us. They haven't had any hands here for quite a while, and the mill needs a lot of fixing. But with them around, we can't even get to work.
And you definitely don't... You don't ever provoke him?
I've already told you once, he's an arsehole. I'd say there's nothing we can do about it. If he wants to yell at us, he'll yell at us.
Have you tried talking with him?
What do you think? But that just sets him off. He starts saying we're practically bandits, and what he's going to do about it. That gets Fritz going, and he starts yelling too, and...
I'd never have guessed he's like that.
Well, get a job here as a hand, and you'll soon see.
And what does he do during the day? Does he work with you?
Good one. He keeps his eye on everything, but his hand only touches the saw when the miller shows up, which isn't that surprising.
Why?
The last time he did anything, he almost took his thumb off with a chisel. I wouldn't put an axe in those paws of his either.
So he's clumsy and arrogant. That's what you said about your last master, that Nimoy.
Aye, but at least you could sneak away from old Nimoy for a bit. No chance of that around here.
And what do you want to do about it? Just run away?
Actually, I'd like to stay here, at least for a bit. I never would have thought I'd like working in a mill, but not with him around. It's unbearable, and there's no one I can complain to. But you could.
Me? Do you think they'll listen to me?
They did once already, didn't they? They hired us because of you. You could have another word with them.
Back then, making promises was enough. Now, it will be worse.
You can forget about the miller. It's Thomas you need to convince. The miller takes his opinion seriously. So, will you do it for us? Again?
Fine. I'll try and talk to him.
I'm glad. But try not to get on his wrong side. You won't get anywhere with him then.
I'll keep that in mind.
Goodbye.
Hey, how'd you get so fucked up?
Matthew told me your foreman's a fool, and you're not exactly filled with Christian love for him.
You better believe it. I'd like to pay him back for everything and drown him in the river.
Drown him? What's he done to you?
It was the first or the second day here. We had a disagreement and I told him off. And then, all of a sudden, we're fighting and that fucker just throws me in the river. I nearly drowned.
Well, how did you get out? I thought you couldn't swim.
I can't. They pulled me out. I was up to my waist in water.
I see. Well, I'd be pretty fucking angry too. So you want to pay him back?
Exactly. I don't give a shit about anything around here, but that bastard's in need of a good trouncing.
What about the others at the mill? Are they awful as well?
The miller's an old fool. He believes every word that comes out of Thomas's mouth. It's hopeless. And then there's the miller's daughter. She's a pretty lass, and kind with it. And what can she do? Nothing. Not that it stops Matthew going to see her. But Thomas is the root of the problem.
Do you think he's jealous? Is she a sweetheart?
He might make puppy dog eyes at her, but most of the time he just struts about like a... I really don't think she's the problem.
I spoke with him briefly and he doesn't seem so horrible.
Then you ought to try working with him. He's a sneaky bastard, and arrogant. You should see how he puffs himself up when he's off to play dice with Lawrence.
Who's Lawrence? Another mill hand?
Aye, but at the neighbouring mill. They call him the Wren. Damned if I know why. Thomas goes there to play dice with him.
And what do you want to do about it? You think you can come to an agreement?
No fucking chance. Matthew hopes so because he likes it here. It's true the work's better than the mines, but the pay's worse.
So how do you plan on dealing with it? Leaving?
Perhaps. But first, I want to give Thomas a proper trouncing. I mean a real thrashing.
And you think that will help?
Maybe. Maybe he'll knock some sense into that fat head of his. Or he'll be too frightened to mess with me.
That might help.
So why don't you arrange a fight with him? If we win, he'll leave us alone. Oh, we could...
What?
We could lure him off someplace far away and then wait for him. Maybe to play dice with Lawrence. He would have to go through the dark woods.
I'll think about it.
God be with you.
I hope I can be of some humble service to you.
So what do you think about the workers I brought you?
If I hadn't put in a good word for them, the miller would have thrown them out by now.
I heard them say something else.
So they're complaining, are they? I provide for them, and all they do is slack off.
Isn't it the miller who provides for them?
He can't manage the work anymore. If it weren't for me, there'd be nothing left standing around here.
But you need the help anyway. And they're pretty handy.
Maybe, but they're in no danger of overworking themselves. They act like they're too good for the mill, and I saw them eyeing up Jane.
Yeah, nothing strange about that. She's a pretty girl, and she's of an age to marry.
It's not marriage they've got on their minds. They'd have their way with her, then before she started to grow, they'd have run for the hills.
Look, we can reach an agreement. You need the mill fixed, they need the money. If they have peace to do their work, they'll be able to finish it faster.
But...
And then they'll take their groschen and leave. The mines will open again, and the faster they get their money, the quicker they'll be gone.
But do you really think I can trust them to do it? Will they do their work and leave? And leave Jane alone in the meantime?
Of course. They're not interested in the mill. They just need the coin to pay their debts. Once they've got enough, they'll have no reason to stay here.
I never thought we could sort it out this way.
I've known them for a long time, and you can rely on them when it comes to this. Everybody will be better off.
All right. If they keep their part of the bargain, I'll even give them a few extra groschen. But woe betide them if they don't. You can tell them that. Take care now.
Jesus, what have you been up to?
It took some doing, but I made a deal with him.
I'm glad to hear it. So we can stay here? He'll leave us be?
He'll leave you alone, but there are conditions. Once you finish your job, you'll vanish from here. But you'll get an extra groschen or two for your troubles.
And that's it? I thought... Never mind.
Oh, and you're to stop dallying with the miller's daughter. Keep on mucking about with her and you'll muck things up for yourselves.
The fucking bastard. He can go fuck himself. He'd better give us enough groschen to make it worth it. But I suppose I should thank you. You may have bought us some peace and quiet, and that's better than nothing. Here's something for your help. Take care.
Just as you ordered.
Here's your share.
Here's to a good
My share of what? What the hell are you on about?
Well, that thing with Thomas, somehow his ring ended up with us.
Are you out of your tiny mind? If anyone finds out you robbed him, we'll all be fucked.
Take it easy. It wasn't theft exactly. We all know he stole that ring himself. So if it comes out, he'll be in the shit too. He'll keep his mouth shut.
Here, just as you ordered.
Where'd you find someone willing to buy and not ask too many questions?
It wasn't easy. But then Fritz thought of Andrew.
Andrew?
The innkeeper here. They say all sorts of things about him.
And how did it go with him?
Well, first he didn't seem too keen. But when he saw the ring, he bought it off us. Actually, I'm not surprised. After all, we'll spend all the money on booze here anyway.
What now? What will you do next?
Now that you mention it,
Out with it then. What have you thought up now?
I can't help myself. It's force of habit. We tried to be good at Sasau.
So good that you punched a novice in the mouth.
Exactly. We broke our backs working in the mill.
While you eyed up the miller's daughter.
And they drove us out. The only worthwhile thing we did recently was give that wastrel a thrashing, take his ring, and sell it to Andrew.
I'm not sure I like where you're going with this.
And where's that? No one in the country gives a damn about the law. And if we knock some thief over the head in the woods, or ambush some wagon with supplies for Sigismund's soldiers, I won't lose any sleep over it.
Those swine deserve even worse. But that's what Sir Hanush is here for, isn't he? What can we do?
Wake up for Christ's sake! It's war! They skewered your parents, didn't they? They fucking burned down our fucking village, didn't they? Don't you give a damn about that?
Of course I fucking do.
And now, there's a herd of swine ransacking Skalitz. Those fuckers are trampling over the ashes of Jeremiah, and Desmond, and Siegfried, and Tristan.
Let's chop those bastards to pieces, one after the other.
I can't let it go, Hal. Even if I have to do it on my own, I'll put the fear of God into those bastards.
You won't be alone.
I knew we could rely on you, Hal. I knew it.
So, what's the plan?
Well, I thought Andrew the innkeeper here could help us, but he's nervous. Best ask Fritz. He sorted out selling the ring, and he knows Andrew better.
All right, I'll do that. I was wondering, did we all get equal shares?
No, you got less, but still plenty.
I don't like that. How come I have less?
Because we had to fucking sell it. And don't forget, we didn't have to give you anything at all.
I want more money for that ring.
And why's that?
Because we're really good mates.
Nice try.
God save you, Henry. Hey, how'd you get so fucked up?
Why do we need Andrew at all? Without him, there'll be more left for us.
In case you haven't noticed, everybody and his brother goes through this inn. Andrew knows everything that goes on in the county. And we'll have to fence a loot somewhere, and that's no easy matter.
I hear you've got a plan to fleece the local villains.
Be nice, wouldn't it? Otherwise we soon won't have a pot to piss in.
And the innkeeper here could lend a helping hand.
Exactly.
So what's the problem?
He reckons we're not up to it. You should try and talk him into it. You were always good at that. Oh, and tell him I sent you, so he doesn't send you packing.
Do you know how I might set about convincing Andrew?
Mention money.
That's all?
Aye. Our friend the innkeeper's as greedy as they come. Goodbye.
God be with you.
Fritz sent me.
Here, enjoy.
I'd like to talk about...
Ah, you'd like some wine from my cellar? I have it right here, in the back.
That's right. Show me the way.
Cheers!
Up.
Huh?
So, Fritz sent you, did he?
Aye. This was his idea.
Look, lad, I'm fond of Fritz. I knew his old man, but Matthew, he's insane. Robbing people.
Only those that deserve it.
And you think his lordship won't mind? Have you any idea the kind of shit you can get into? I don't believe you're up to it.
Why don't you believe us? Do I look like a man who let himself get caught?
You've got balls, all right. We'll see if you're up to it. You'll need a disguise.
What disguise?
Use your head. You can never be sure no one will see you.
Yeah, that's true. We'll have to put on some other clothes, or...
Dress up as Cumans.
What?
It's obvious, isn't it? Everyone knows they're looting. If someone's robbed by Cumans, no one will investigate.
That's true. But I'll have to get some Cuman clothes.
A captain's. And 3 sets of them.
What?
On account of the helmets. No one will recognize you with them on.
And where the hell am I supposed to get it?
There's gangs of Cumans around Skalitz. I've got a good idea where to find them from. Passers-by.
I'm supposed to attack a Cuman camp.
A minute ago, you were full of yourself. And now, all of a sudden, you've lost your nerve.
But the whole fucking camp.
Scouts are deserters. Most likely the ones who are trying to skive off or take easy pickings. And even Cumans have to sleep.
Itt nem látok. Megjött a mulatság. Hé! Ott van, vigyázz! Látjátok? Ellenség!
Kapsz egyet!
Jól van.
Yeah. 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 Ha!
Mit csináltod? Itt épp egy malacka tévedt a disznóölésre.
Itt épp egy malacka tévedt a disznóölésre. Istenem, vigyázz ott! Mit keresel itt? Véletlenül kibújtál anyád szoknyája alól? Nem Nem hiszem el!
Ez betalált!
Emberek, vigyázat!
Eleged van? Hey! Pina!
God be with you.
I've got them. 3 full outfits.
What? Everything?
The whole bloody lot.
Well then, let's see how you look in it. Oh. Is that it? It's a bit...
Ordinary?
Are you serious? I got it straight from the fucking Cumans.
Oh, it's not exactly, terrifying, is it?
It's about as frightening as my aunt's speckled hen.
They just don't look much like a cumin to me.
Have any of you actually seen a Cuman?
What? Do you mean close up?
Don't be daft.
Miramir's described them many times.
Everyone knows Cumans are monstrous. They're barbarians. Pagans.
Whereas you look like a little boy playing at soldiers.
And just who the hell is Miramir?
He's a regular in my tavern. He works as a caravan guard, and he knows what he's talking about. He's been eye to eye with a Cuman, and he's lived to tell the tale. You can ask him yourself.
Nah, what do they know?
Oi, Henry. Take that ridiculous thing off before anyone sees you, eh?
Here you are, and good health.
The best of health.
Certainly, I'll fetch it right away.
Welcome, Henry.
Ayo!
Jesus Christ be praised.
They tell me you've seen a lot of Cumans. They say you'd recognize one even in the dark.
I certainly would. Buy me a drink and I'll tell you stories that will make your hair curl.
Here you go.
Thanks. What's your name anyway?
That's nothing to you.
Anyway, not long ago, I was escorting a goods caravan all the way from Vienna, when all of a sudden, a terrible storm came down. Hail, lightning, snow, the works.
Snow. In summer.
Don't interrupt. So where was I? Oh, that's right, the storm. We strayed off the path. Couldn't see the ground beneath our feet. And all of a sudden, we heard singing. In the distance, we saw a fire in the clearing with malevolent creatures ranged around it, singing demonic songs.
These malevolent creatures didn't mind the snow. Wouldn't they have preferred to sing somewhere warm?
Be quiet. Anyway, as if in a trance, we walked towards the fire. And at that moment, we saw them. Were those hideous creatures monsters or demons, you ask? No. They were Cumans. And a bunch of infants, crying
Coming.
and sniffling.
So, someone was feeling the cold. I'd have been shivering too. Snow doesn't do me any good, especially in summer.
And those devilish creatures were drinking the blood of babies and fornicating with she-devils. We stood there paralyzed with fear until I, and I alone, managed to break out of the spell. I can tell you, I never ran so fast in my life. I was the only one to escape. Since that time, I've been able to do nothing but sit here. I can't work since that awful shock. I'm probably still under a spell.
Yeah, undoubtedly. Probably a spell of laziness. Listen, Millimere, what you just said is complete and utter bollocks from start to finish.
What the hell would you know about it, peasant?
I'm from fucking Skalitz. I watched those bastards butchering my kith and kin with my own eyes.
You might have said that before. I'd have saved the yarn for someone who'd appreciate it.
Where did you hear this nonsense? Who's been spreading all these rumours about how frightening the Cumans look?
Oh, people from around these parts. Bran, the charcoal burner, told me about them. He lives in the woods near here. Then there's Olener, the wife of the Talmberg fisherman. And young Vashek, a stable boy at the stud farm in Ushitz. He too. Good luck to you.
Here.
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
They say you know what Cumans look like.
I do. Once when I was going alone through the dark woods.
That's of no interest to me.
But...
Look, save the tall tales to impress the wenches. I'm not interested.
Well... They're decked out in raven feathers because...
Well, so a black hen would do.
But that wouldn't have magical powers.
Right.
Good luck, then.
God grant you health. How may I help you?
They say you know about Cumans.
Fangs. They wear wolves' fangs to make themselves invisible in the dark. Then they can creep around like beasts of prey as sneaky as death.
That was quick.
Thanks.
God be with you.
I'm glad to see you.
I hear you can tell me something about humans.
No, sir. My master would whip me for telling tall tales again. But really, it's all true.
I won't hit you. Just tell me, is it the truth?
Really, sir. I still see them every time I try to sleep.
Aha. All right. So what do the humans wear?
They wear the skins of dogs hunted down in the night, so no weapon can hurt them.
Right. Thanks. I'd like you to...
Certainly.
I'd like to...
All right.
Isn't that quite... What do you say?
You won't.
What do you say?
That's not enough.
Agreed.
Kit nem látok? Megjött a mulatság? Mit keresel itt? Véletlenül kibújtál az Zsa!
Meggereszarás. És pont mikor kedvem lenne valakiből kiverni a lát. Istenem! Vigyázz! Itt fogsz... Nem hiszem el! Emberek! A szarba!
Rossz helyen vagy, rossz időben.
Good God, you look terrible. Did someone attack you?
See you later.
let's talk about the price.
Well, we... Aye.
Yeah.
I got fucking everything.
There. Satisfied?
Wonderful. Come with me.
See you later.
What's taking them so long?
I really don't know.
Ready? Great. Now put it on.
Well, definitely an improvement.
That's good.
That's really fucking good.
You don't think it's too much?
It's perfect. If I met you at night, I'd shit myself.
That's exactly what Cumans look like.
Says the man who's never seen one.
Well, I mean, that's exactly what people think Cumans look like.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad at all.
We're only just getting started.